Real Housewives of Potomac star Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie have been booked for criminal fraud charges. It's literally just into our newsroom. The star is facing 16 charges, including 7 felonies. Osefo has been charged with falsely misleading info. Candace, what are you thinking?
I am floored. I am shocked. I'm sad. And I'm heartbroken. Like I have chill. I'm shaking because we're just finding this. I can't imagine. She never let on that anything was wrong.
Y'all, Dr. Wendy Osefo, Johns Hopkins professor, 4 degrees, the woman who walked onto Real Housewives of Potomac, calling herself the smartest housewife in the room, the perfect family, the lawyer husband, the beautiful kids, the whole picture.
Part of this milestone in my life is I wanted a fresh start in my career. I wanted to teach a subject matter that I loved. I wanted to be at an institution and a university that loved me and I loved them. And I just didn't want to wake up every day and just do things because that's how I've done them for years past. So it was a challenge for me to finally push send and make that decision.
I think that she is doing her own thing. I love her, and I love her family, and I love Eddie, and I am hoping that they come out of this really well. I think she's been a really great role model, housewife, and she's always led with her education and family values.
And right now, she and her husband Eddie are sitting on a combined 30-something criminal fraud counts in handcuffs, mugshots, and everything. And here's the part that got the internet whispering they asked to be tried together. The judge said, okay. And then they flipped and decided they want separate trials. So now folks online are asking the question nobody on that cast will say out loud, is Wendy about to cut Eddie loose to save herself? Sit down. Let me get into it. So let's set it up. The whole thing starts with a burglary. The 7th of April, 2024. Wendy and Eddie report that they came home to their Finksburg, Maryland house after a trip to Jamaica and found the place ransacked. Bedroom torn apart, closets gone through. They told deputies that designer handbags and jewelry were missing, reported over $200,000 in stolen luxury goods. Now on the surface, terrible. Y'all come home from vacation and somebody robbed you blind. Anybody would file that insurance claim. But here's where investigators say the story stopped adding up. And I want to be real clear, everything I'm about to lay out, this is what investigators and prosecutors allege.
Her neighbor slid into my DM. Basically that they all got notices on their front door or in their mailbox that there had been a burglary, and it was at the, Wendy and Eddie's house. The whole entire neighborhood was thinking, this is insurance fraud.
Really?
But they all thought something was kind of shady about it.
Something was fishy.
This couple has not been convicted of anything. Their trial isn't even until January 2027. So this is the charges talking, not a verdict. Investigators say when detectives started digging, they found the couple had actually returned about $20,000 worth of the supposedly stolen items back to the stores, returned them for refunds. They say they found images of one of them wearing jewelry that had been reported stolen after the burglary. And they say the surveillance footage from the home showed no signs of a break-in at all. No forced entry, nothing. The prosecutor, Melissa Hawkins-Smith, alleged investigators recovered dozens of credit and debit cards out of luxury wallets, including a Chanel wallet that had allegedly been reported stolen in that same burglary. And prosecutors argued the couple was dealing with financial difficulties at the time. So a Carroll County grand jury indicted them in October 2025. 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, a false statement count. All in, around 33 criminal counts between the two of them, each released on a $50,000 bond. And on the 9th of October 2025, they got arrested at their home in Westminster, Maryland. The professor, in handcuffs. Bravo immediately delayed Wendy's wife swap episode that was supposed to air. The whole image poof. Now, Wendy has not taken this quietly, and this part matters. She pushed back hard, called it an illegal arrest, filed motions to suppress the evidence. Both she and Eddie maintain they are completely innocent.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to my family during this time. I read your messages. I can't respond to everyone, but your love and support means the world to me. It's an unfortunate situation. And right now I can't say too much, but I will say when the time is right, I will share my story with everyone. And for now, they're just allegations, so we will continue to push forward.
So while the internet is running with the fraud framing, the couple themselves are saying the police did this wrong and they did nothing. Then came the reunion footage. And honey, this is where you saw the mask slip. During part 1 of the RHOP season 10 reunion that aired February 2026, Bravo showed footage filmed just 1 week after the arrest.
I wake up to Eddie saying, "Baby, the police are here."
Okay.
I called my mom and my sister, and they were able to pick up the kids.
Okay.
Carter knew something was up because the fact that they're randomly spending the night with my mom and my sister, Carter was just like, something is going on. And he opened his phone, and he actually saw...
Wow. Oh no. Everything.
Yeah.
Wendy's sitting there in a tan cardigan, a whole different woman from the one who used to strut in, talking about her degrees. Said she feels like she's in a constant nightmare. Said she hadn't been eating, hadn't been sleeping. Said the home didn't even feel the same anymore. On the reunion couch, she said never in her wildest dreams did she think it would lead to them being taken away in handcuffs. Said it feels like a bad dream. And Eddie, sitting next to her, said, "God's got us." Wendy described spending a full night in a shared cell. Said you completely lose your autonomy. Said you wake up when they tell you because the lights come on, and you go to sleep when they tell you because the lights go off. Whatever you believe about the charges, that's a sobering thing to hear a person describe. And then there was the Karen Huger moment.
You're talking too much, Wendy. I do not want you to go to jail. And I'm begging you to stop talking. I'm begging you to stop interviewing. I'm begging you because I don't believe it's helping you. Take it from the Karen you used to like. How about that? Because when you talk, they watch. Okay, they hear you.
Now Karen, who served her own 6-month sentence after a DUI, looked at Wendy at that reunion and told her to shut up. Bluntly? But here's the thing. It aired as Karen actually trying to give this woman legal advice. Karen's been through the system. She was basically telling Wendy, stop talking about your case in public. You're gonna hurt yourself. Game recognizing game. Now here's the pivot that's got everybody talking. This couple originally asked the court to be tried together. As co-defendants, the judge granted it, and then they completely flipped the strategy.
Taria reported in her exclusive that apparently at the Beverly Beach group trip that they took, she reported that allegedly Wendy has been throwing Eddie under the bus. I don't know how well that's going to work out for Wendy if they're going to be tried together. We shall see.
Now they're heading to 2 separate criminal trials. And per a courtroom source from a podcast covering the case, the detail that set the internet on fire, Wendy did not waive her right to a speedy trial, but Eddie did. They split. The couple that got pinched together is no longer standing together in that courtroom. And that is exactly when the divorce chatter started. Online, they're asking, is Wendy distancing herself? Is she positioning to leave Eddie entirely to protect herself? Because when the couple that scams together allegedly, suddenly won't even sit at the same defense table, what is that telling you? Tell me in the comments, do you think Wendy's about to leave that man to save her own neck? Because the streets are split on this one. But here's the wrinkle, and it's a big one. A legal expert weighed in and said a divorce wouldn't even help Wendy. Said she could still be individually charged and prosecuted in criminal court completely outside of any divorce proceedings. So even if she leaves him, and to be clear, no divorce has actually been filed, this is all online speculation. It doesn't make her charges disappear. The fraud case follows her whether she's married to Eddie or not. So the question becomes, if leaving him doesn't help legally, why split the trials at all? What does she know that we don't? Online, the nicknames are already flying. Folks calling them the Osef frauds, saying they're doing what people do when they get pinched, dig deep, and try to get off on a technicality. The irony is what's really driving it. A Johns Hopkins professor and a lawyer husband, the 2 smartest people in any room, allegedly caught up in a staged burglary insurance scheme. The smartest housewife framing colliding head-on with these charges. And drama pages have been recycling the old season 6 infidelity rumor about Eddie the One Gazelle brought up years ago that Wendy denied, repackaging it now as the cracks were always there. I'll say this, there are 3 kids in this family. The post-arrest footage talked about shielding them through all this. So whatever happens with the trial, with the marriage, with all of it, there's babies in the middle of this. I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on them. So here's where it stands. January 2027, that's when this goes to trial. 2 separate trials now. Both Osefos maintaining their innocence. Wendy calling the whole arrest illegal. Eddie saying God's got them. And the entire internet watching to see if the perfect RHOP couple stays a couple, or if Dr. Wendy Osefo decides the smartest move is to save herself. So what's your theory? Is Wendy about to leave Eddie to protect herself, or are they riding this all the way out together? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you really think. Hit that like, subscribe if you new around here, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye baddies.